So, not too long ago, I did a bunch of yard work, and right now the internet is very, very outraged, primarily due to a man named Mr. Repsian.
Hi, Greg. That's me.
Mr. Repsian made a lengthy video showing documents that, you really have to search to find. They aren't just like presented to everybody as a standard pamphlet that's passed out or anything like that. You really have to like look into someone's business to figure out what's going on.
Wrong, Greg. No, I do not have to look into somebody's business. I'm not sure if you're aware, but every state in the United States of America has small little district counties. I'm in the county called King County of Washington State, which encompasses Seattle, Kent, Federal Way, Tacoma, so on and so forth. And every state has these counties, and in the counties there are courthouses, and in the courthouses where legal things are done, there is what is known public record. You seem to think that I'm sitting on my computer doing deep searching, trying to find all these little, privately little legal things about your life and so on and so forth. But the reality is I'm not. I didn't even find your court cases about your whole wetlands destruction stuff. Somebody sent that to me and showed me that, hey, it was public record. All you gotta do is go to the county's website, wherever you're located, King County, you can search my name. And you're giving me way too much credit because I didn't even find the court documents to begin with. They were, again, public.
And he made these things public, and he seemed to be very concerned with the environment. First of all, I used to be a member of Earth Club in high school. I grew up in the middle of nowhere in nature. As a farm boy, I did a lot of tasks, taking care of animals and so forth.
Aw, that's so cute! Greg! You are a farm boy? Little onion boy running around on a farm, milking cows, pulling chicken eggs? That is so freaking adorable. Seriously, I'm not being sarcastic here. I never would imagine little onion boy being a farm boy. I mean, that's why you killed a turtle, right? You fried him to death out in your yard? Little onion boy taking control of the farm, taking control of the animals, milking those cows. Nothing is better than freshly squeezed milk, let me tell you.
And eventually I became a vegetarian because I didn't want to damage the environment. The environment is a precious thing, and I didn't want to, help clear thousands of acres of land just so I could turn animals into crap. Now, a lot of people have turned into keyboard warriors where they have demonized me. They've said I should die. They've said that I'm a murderer for ever essentially touching large plants. If you cut down a tree, apparently you're a murderer or whatever. Now, even if your housing community told you to cut down a tree, and if you make your yard look really nice, apparently you're a terrible person, even if your neighbor told you to take care of your yard in exactly the way you took care of it.
I'm not sure why you keep mentioning your neighbor, like, my neighbor told me to do this, so therefore I did it. I know this is a horrible, lame example, but you just do whatever random people, strangers, neighbors tell you to do. Hey, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge. Well, I'm gonna follow you out there. Hey, I think you should use dynamite on your yard to get rid of all those bushes and trees. Just light some dynamite, blow it up, catch it all on fire, pour some gasoline on there. Hi, my name's Greg, and I'm gonna do whatever people tell me to do who are random strangers. I'm Mr. Black and White over here. I always follow the law within the restrictions that the law requires me. But this random neighbor who tells me to do something, I'm just gonna do it and not look into it and research it at all, and I'm just gonna believe everything he tells me because that's obviously what I do. What? Honestly, every time you bring up your neighbor told me to do this, therefore I did it, just makes you look worse because you didn't take any time to research or, look up the legalities of what potentially you could do to the environment or damage or so on and so forth. And we all know that you, Greg, are a fact machine, and you always need to make sure that you're in with the legal bounds of the law. No matter how finicky, how small, you're very black and white, and you always want to be within the law. I get it. But this time, you screwed up, and it's not your neighbor's fault. It's your fault, buddy. You can say I take responsibility for making a poor choice, but then if you try to say, well, my neighbor told me to, you're kind of also tossing blame to somebody else. And the thing, in situations like this, you gotta take it like a man, like a champ. Full responsibility. Don't no ifs, no buts, no somebody told me. Just buck it up and say, you know what, I screwed up. It's my fault.
Is this person, Mr. Repsian, who clearly cares about the environment so much. I just wanted to ask him to donate everything that he's earned, which is $1,000 to $2,000, trashing me for my interaction with the environment, to nonprofit organizations that are centered on improving the environment. So, Mr. Repsian, if you could, please donate everything that you've earned from these videos where you clearly care about the environment. Show us that you really do care. Prove it by donating your earnings, everything you earned off ad revenue for the video that went viral, trashing me for taking care of my yard as I was instructed by my neighbor and as my housing community encouraged. What with, every housing community wanting you to take care of your yard and keep it orderly. I really do want you to donate all of your earnings to a nonprofit organization. And I will 100% support and believe in you once you do that.
That if you really want me to donate some of the ad revenue that I made off responding to you, something that you did publicly, then I would ask that you donate at least a $500 minimum of all the videos that you made on Eugenia Cooney. I mean, if we look down on your YouTube list, we can see about 20 plus videos that you've made on Eugenia Cooney, all of which are making fun of her body, are mocking her, insulting her, so on and so forth. And if you really care about body image and body positivity like you seem to claim that you do, then I ask you that you donate all the money that you made off Eugenia Cooney to a nonprofit organization that deals with bulimia and health-related issues to women struggling with their body. I think that is a perfectly valid cause for you to do the exact same thing. Well, the fact of the matter is, Greg, you don't get to come on camera and demand, if you really care about the environment, you'll donate all your ad revenue to what I deem appropriate because you made money through my name. Greg, the ad revenue I made off your video that went viral, which I totally did not expect it to with 1.3 million views, that video just paid the last 2 quarters of my tuition before I graduate, which I was frantically getting nervous about because I was declined financial aid by my college because I took a class out of my scheduled degree. They pretty much screwed me over and said, no, we're not going to help you with financial aid from the state. And they really screwed me over because I took a class outside of my degree field, and I was, panicking. And then I made a video just for pure fun, and it happened to get 1.3 million views in a week. That was completely unexpected. It's not something I was doing for any intent other than just to respond to you because, well, it's really, really fun, and if I can make money through it, cool. If not, whatever. But I made a response to you, and I made some money off of it, and now I have my tuition paid for this quarter and next quarter, and then I'm gonna get my degree in the summer. I'm so excited, so thank you, Gregory. But don't get on camera all hoity-hoity and start making demands when you're the person who put yourself in the situation and to begin with.
Because if you don't donate everything that you earned from a video where you're cursing someone for hurting the environment, it makes it look like you only cursed that person because you wanted money and fame, and not because you actually give a rat's ass about the environment.
Greg, if you actually watched my original video, which of course you don't, you just look at how many views it got and get mad. But if you actually took the time to watch my video, you would realize that my video wasn't about me being upset about the environment. It was about you not comprehending what you did wrong to the environment. That was my issue. That was the point that I was trying to make. So I'm going to help explain to my audience a little more here. Here's a piece of paper. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, but here we have Swamp House. This is Greg's house right here, okay? It looks upside down to me. I don't know if it is or not. Anyway, this is Swamp House. This is your backyard. This is the wetland. All this colored in here, this is the wetland that was behind your house. Now, something that I failed to clarify in my last video here is that you have your house, you have your backyard, this is the property line, is the so-called yard work he did went into this wetland, which Greg did not own. See, Greg just doesn't own this wetland. This is a wetland with water and it has like a small lake. And he took and wiped out his backyard and then pushed a bunch of stuff. He overlapped here, his backyard, into the wetland, which is illegal to do. And he doesn't own it. It's not his property. It's not about him doing yard work. He can do all the yard work you want in your backyard. But if you go do yard work and then you go onto the county's own land and destroy that ecosystem, then you have a problem. There's a 100-foot buffer with your land and the wetland, meaning that within the wetland, you're not allowed to build within 100 feet of that range of the wetland. And Greg, you still don't seem to comprehend this. You water it down to just simply, you know, I was doing yard work, which is fine, but you did yard work, in your own words, on land that you technically didn't own, and destroyed an ecosystem that was owned by the state, thus affecting the environmental wetlands and all the nature that survives there. See, that's the issue. The issue isn't me making a video to you saying, you don't care about the environment, you're a horrible vegetarian, you're all this and blah, blah, blah. Like, at the end of the day, I think what you did was very destructive and very unwise and dumb and foolish. The fact that you didn't take the time to research it. But the issue is that you refuse to accept what you've done with it saying, hey, you know what, I was wrong in doing this, I screwed up, let me fix the issue. No, but instead, you attempt to make a joke out of the entire situation by creating a GoFundMe page. No, folks, I'm not joking. But of course, you know, Greg is, because that's what this whole ploy was. It was supposedly a joke. But let's just take a look at it, shall we?
So many of you truly care about the environment. So many of you have shown concern for my life as of late, and I want to genuinely say that I'm sorry for any damage that I've done. But I'm sorry isn't good enough. True change needs to actually happen to make this right. And unfortunately, due to my financial situation, I need to ask for your help to make things meet the standard that the world has set for my backyard. People have made YouTube videos showing great, sincere concern. One video even got over 1 million views.
Hi again, Greg. That's me.
My goal at this point is to not just restore and slightly improve my backyard, which is also partially a wetland, but I would like to make it much better than ever. I've already planted multiple trees. I've covered 95% of any exposed dirt in my yard, thus helping prevent erosion. Additionally, I've also planted numerous bushes, including blueberry bushes, and I've taken part in negotiations with the county to find the best, most beneficial outcome for not just myself and the county, but also nature itself. But I know that you guys do truly care. So many of you have commented, showing your 100% authentic concern for our Earth. And so I wanted to give you this opportunity to truly put your money where your mouth is. Please help support this campaign by showing how genuine you are and contributing whatever is financially comfortable for you. Please don't stress yourself over this. But I will be providing yearly proof of the yard's improvements for some of the top contributors, and even offer on-site visits for anyone who is so concerned that they want to see it in person. This wetland is going to be so incredible after you guys truly show that you mean what you say when you have such great concern for the wetlands of our world.
Rescue Onision's wetland and make it better than ever. $100,000 goal. Now he goes on a little text post explaining the situation, but most of all he puts some results of your donation if they meet some milestones. You know, trees and bushes, approximately 32,000. The more money that this GoFundMe gets, the more we can plant. Full-size trees costs a lot of money, but nature is worth it. A fence, $20,000. A dock, $30,000. Drainage system, $8,000 additional funds. But the real kicker is really at the bottom, which I didn't get a chance to screen grab, but somebody copied and pasted it. If someone donates $5,000, donators of this level above may visit the site and take pictures or video once a year to document the progress. For a $3,000 donation, donors of this level can have any tree named whatever they like and have a Earth-friendly label applied to the tree planted in their honor. $2,000 donation, personal thank you video from myself featuring updated yard once a year for 3 years. Your name will be engraved in the dock. Your name will be engraved in the fence. Blah, blah, blah. So yes, he did in fact create a GoFundMe page to raise money to fixing or helping improve his already fixed wetland damage that supposedly he's working on. But ladies and gentlemen, the thing is Greg says that this whole GoFundMe page that he made was a joke. Which, okay, whatever. You know, if you want to make a fake GoFundMe page, which takes away from real people who actually need money, or creating, you know, GoFundMes for, you know, medical bills and cancer and things that they can't actually afford. If you want to make a fake troll GoFundMe page and take away from actual people who actually need money, that's kind of, you know, a crappy thing to do, but whatever, again, it's a joke if that's what you want to run with. But the weird thing is this post right here, okay? I want to thank you guys so much for caring clearly about the environment. Now let's show how much we truly care by supporting a real cause. 100%, which is going towards exactly what is described here. Thank you so much. This will be incredible. A man replies, man, Pierce County, and perhaps even a councilman like Derek Young, who I feel would be aware of this gentleman's recent legal troubles by destroying the protected wetlands, is now trying to crowdfund his court costs while under the IRS audit for $500,000. And this is the real, icing on the cake. Pierce County, Washington responds to it, and within 1 hour of Pierce County replying to this tweet, the campaign on GoFundMe was deactivated, was removed. Thank you for your concern and letting us know about this activity. The GoFundMe is no longer active. We will continue to monitor the progress of the wetland restoration through the terms of the agreement. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist here, but I just find it really funny and bizarre and out of the ordinary that within 1 hour of this tweet by Pierce County's official Twitter account, the campaign by Greggy that he started his GoFundMe was gone. Removed, no longer active. So either A, it was all a joke, or, what I tend to want to believe is that B, Greg realized, oh crap, Pierce County now knows that I'm trying to raise money to pay for my illegal activities and destruction of wetlands, and I'm gonna get in trouble for it legally, possibly, I don't know, and shut it down, because I think it was, before it was shut down, it had up to $200 in donations so far. I think it's more likely B, but, whatever, it's Greg, so maybe he is, in fact, telling the truth, maybe a little smidge, maybe it was all a joke. I don't know, I'm gonna let the audience decide, was this a joke? Or he just happened to delete it right as Pierce County was made aware of the issue of what he was doing. Who knows? I don't know. I just thought this was really interesting, which is why I'm covering it. But folks, let's not forget the real GoFundMe, the real reason he started his GoFundMe, the real reason he started the joke to begin with was to then advertise his other GoFundMe page, I'm not joking, asking his fans to help him start a new web form. Again, this is definitely not going to backfire in any way, because we already know what happened with his, last form that he was up and running. Some really good decision and behavioral skills you've adopted, Greg.
Hey guys, okay, so I launched a GoFundMe for making my wetlands great again, and apparently a lot of people didn't get it. I was thinking like maybe I should build a tower in my backyard so people could climb up the tower and look at the entire neighborhood and observe all of the wetlands and all of its beauty. But I felt like that was a little too obvious. So instead I'm just gonna cut the joke where it is. The campaign is taken care of. It's whatever. It's not the real campaign. The real campaign is a message board. I have a message board that I want to fund. I really love forums and so forth, and I want to fund that. But I was thinking, of upping the wetland GoFundMe to $1 million so we could fund that tower. And I decided, you know what, it's not exactly fun anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the real thing. I do want to thank this patron who totally got it. They totally got the joke. We're launching a forum. Forums cost money. I have to pay for some DDoS protection, I think it's called, and I also have to pay for the software itself. So obviously this isn't $100,000 like the other one, because the other one was funny.
But hey, whatever. If people really want to be that dumb and donate to a Onision forum because he put himself in a horrible financial situation, go right ahead. It's your money. Spend it however you wish. What I find even funnier is that Onision is on the brink of bankruptcy. He made a recent video on how much am I worth, where he actually revealed the total amount that he owes to the IRS, which is $600,000. Actually, I think it's a little bit more than that. That's not including all the wetland restoration and the updates that he has to do. $600,000. And he's a bit upset at the fact that, he's worth, $2 million, but the government's, come along and taken so much of his stuff.
How much is Onision worth? That's a good question. There's a theory that I'm worth $2 million. I wish that was true. In my total YouTube career, I've made about... That's even complicated because taxes, you could say Onision's made $3 million. But you could also say that the government has taken half of that and the rest went to, making videos better. So right now I have a bill of about $600,000, and like considering like okay, so like a lot of you are probably freaking out by that idea that I have this pending bill of $600,000 that I'm supposed to pay like within 2 years, and I can't, not with my current circumstances. So essentially I'm worth nothing. I know it's my fault, and it's TurboTax's fault.
Oh, not this again, Greg. 2 times in the same video you have pulled this. It's my fault, but it's also this other thing's fault or person's fault. Why? This clearly demonstrates the type of person and how you operate, that you literally cannot say, I did something wrong, without pulling some person, something, and reflecting that blame onto that other thing's fault. Do I have to explain this again? TurboTax is a software that you input numbers into. Okay? You put numbers in the software. You put numbers in there, and the numbers calculate based upon what you put in those numbers. And if you put in numbers properly for the right items, you'll get a little green check mark. You know, it's all automatic. Taxes are not as complicated as you seem to think that they are. I've been doing my taxes for years. If taxes are so complicated like you seem to think that they are, that TurboTax is so horrible like you think that they are, why aren't, tons of teens, like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, all being sued by the IRS? Because the basic taxes aren't that difficult to comprehend. But as we've established in my last video when I was talking about Greg, he deducted his divorce, his marriages, his full car purchase. Like, he was deducting everything, a wedding, like wedding rings, like items that you can't deduct from taxes. He was deducting, which is why he owed $600,000. And he has the audacity to say, it's TurboTax's fault because it gave me a green arrow because I inputted wrong numbers into a software. A software is always going to give you green arrows if you put in random numbers and deduct things that you're not supposed to deduct, but, the software can't tell you not to deduct a marriage or divorce. That's common sense. You can't do that. Most people have common sense, and just because you don't doesn't mean it's TurboTax's fault. TurboTax is not a person, Gregory. It's a software. Blaming a software for your mishaps, well, that says a lot about you as a person. I don't need to trash you. I don't need to call you names. I really don't need to do any of that. I just gotta respond, and you kind of do that for yourself. You make yourself look like as Daquan always says, a doo-doo head.
Because for the longest time I did TurboTax taxes through there, and they didn't tell me about numerous things I needed to know. And it's really unfortunate because, so some of you may use TurboTax, and it gives you that green thing at the end, right? TurboTax tells you, oh, you're green, you're fine, these taxes look good. So I would keep doing my taxes until it was green, right? If it said there was an error, I'd be like, okay, they need more information. So I'd give them more information until it was green, right? I did that, and then I got in trouble for 3 years straight of my taxes. And I was confused because TurboTax told me I was fine. So as a result, I have been fined an enormous amounts, and now apparently I'm supposed to give up all of my money.
But folks, I digress. This is my video response, and people have been asking 3 video responses in one, but most of all, I need to prepare you guys for something very, very important that is happening on this channel at some point, okay? Hold on to your butts right now. Are you ready for this announcement? Are you ready? I'm going to show you something. Something that you've never seen before. Well, no, you probably have seen it, but today's a special day. You want to know why it's a special day? Because in my hands right now, I have 2 of the most valuable books you will ever see in your life. These books are going to change your life. And I cannot wait to show you and read you and review these books on how much it changes my life, but most of all, how it's going to change your life forever. Okay? Stones to Abigail. Onision. This is why I hate you. These books are going to change your lives. It is going to... I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry. These books are going to help us. It's going to help you guys come out of any struggles that you've ever dealt with in your life, with relationships, with breakups, with disorders. This book is the cure. And I'm going to bring you the cure from Onision himself with a book review. So I hope you're ready, because I am. Thanks for watching. Follow my social media, all linked below.